Welcome. Today on this episode, I'm going to talk about Africa and the cryptocurrency business. People are saying that Africa is going to lead the cryptocurrency business in the next 10 20 years, but it's hard to believe if you look at the business situation, banking system, political environment. It's hard to believe that Africa is going to be big in cryptocurrency business. People who are saying that they say it because they look at regulations. How, for example, in the US, it's hard to trade crypto. You don't have that much access on most of the crypto exchanges that trade, for example, the small caps crypto. So people are trying to move, going outside the US, Europe, and some other countries too that's going hard on crypto. So people are saying if you look at like the business in the whole, Africa is maybe uh, most of countries doesn't have that much regulation. They are free to let people to trade. They are free to let people to do business with other countries. They now put that much pressure on banks and businesses. So they also look at the population. If you look at the population of Africa, you will say that Africa will be big on crypto in these coming years. But I will show you. I will show you how many people are trading crypto right now on a continent, and how many countries are how many countries are taking the big parts of the crypto trading. I'll be happy to see that. I'll be happy to see like Microsoft moving his asset to Africa. I'll be happy to see this millionaire in crypto moving the asset to Africa, because that will help the Africa um, generation to run, to improve, and everybody will be happy. You know what I'm saying? But the most clients are here in the US. But I'm very sure if you trade with Coinbase, you don't have access to the banking in Africa. If you trade with Binance, I'm not sure if Binance has some connection in Africa, but I'm pretty sure some exchanges are able to work in South Africa and some countries like Nigeria, maybe Kenya as also. I will show you how it looks like. Okay, let's take a look on CoinGecko so you can see, you can have an idea of what's going on. The crypto market is really high. The crypto market is going to be number one. It's going to replace gold in the next few years to come. Cryptocurrency has almost 2 trillion money that's moving in a business. In only 24 hours, 100 billion was traded in just 24 hours in cryptocurrency. That's a lot of money, guys. That's a lot of money. Bitcoin today is if you look out here, Bitcoin today is trading at 43,000. Ethereum is trading at $2,330. If you can go down, you can see every cryptocurrency how it's trading. You can go back to from here back wherever you want to go to see how the price was moving. So if you look this much capitalization, that's a big deal. If you say Africa is going to read cryptocurrency, that's a big deal. I'm not sure if the banking system will just let it go. The banking system, the U.S. banking system, the Asia banking system, the Europe banking system are now going to let Africa to read this business, because it's going to be the number one. the number one business in the whole world. If you look just in 20 years, this is how much money is moving in this business. That's a lot of money. It's going to replace gold. So that's why if people saying Africa is going to be number one, yes, Africa has a young population, but the banking system is not ready. The political environment is not ready because this business require a lot of stuff. It require like technology. You have to be able to connect the banking system to these exchanges. So it's a good question. It is a good question. Let's see how much crypto are traded in Africa, so we can maybe have another idea of what's going. Okay, let's see how much people are interested in trading crypto in Africa today. Look, Nigeria is today the number one. Kenya, maybe number two. You go to north, there's Morocco, there is Tunisia, there's Algeria. Those countries are really interested in trading crypto for now. You will say because the banking system in those countries are advanced. The political system, the political environment in those countries are probably much better if than those countries going central west, central east, going a little bit south. But check this out. Nigeria has by far, right here, Nigeria has by far the highest level of crypto interest in Africa. In 2023 so far, uh, it represents 66.8% of crypto interest in the continent. That's crazy. Almost 70%, which almost eight times of the next most interested Africa country. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. Look at this. In total, the top 50 African countries represent a majority, 97.5% of crypto interest in the continent this year. Just 50 African countries are trading crypto. Just 50. That's how bad it is. Just 50. In almost 50 countries, just 50 countries are trading crypto right now. South Africa, Morocco, Ghana, Egypt, Ivory Coast contribute to African crypto interest to a small extent, in total accounting for 23% of the continent's interest in crypto. You see that? So Africa needs to improve the infrastructure. They need to improve the educational system. They need to improve how the banking are working with the West banking system, because this business is a digital business. You have to be able to navigate the internet to be able to trade this thing. You have to be able to know how to use a computer to be able to trade this thing. So if you go from North Africa to maybe South, those countries are still like we can say poor. But people are hungry. People are hungry. People are hungry. If they get a chance to trade this thing, they will trade. They will trade. But they don't have access to the most trusted exchanges like Coinbase, this big exchange that will protect the assets. For example, if you go to if they can connect Coinbase to most of those countries, Coinbase will be rich, because there is a big number of young people who have access to the money, even if it's the real money, but they also need the exchanges that go to those areas to start this kind of business. But for now, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Look at this. Nigeria has 66%. South Africa has 8.36%. Morocco 5%. Ghana 5%. Egypt 2%. Ivory Coast 2%. So you can see that Nigeria occupies the whole business. Why? They have access to the internet. The political environment allowed these guys to trade. Also, these guys, they travel. They are all over in India, all over in China, all over in Europe, all over in America, everywhere. So good for them. Shout out to these guys. Shout out to this guy because this cryptocurrency business is going to be the number one business in 10, 15 years. If you look how many young guys are becoming millionaires from this kind of business, you can believe it. You can believe it. So you cannot say that you can get money to trade this thing because you can use just small money. Look at this for example. The top 10 countries are rating the meme coin in 2023. Meme coin means these coins that has nothing to do. They do nothing. They just trading over there. They don't do anything. They just there for they are a meme. You know, they're not like Bitcoin, who is a hedge of inflation. They're not like Ethereum that is used in most of these economic transaction. It's not like Solana. It's not like Tether. That they don't do anything. It's just out there to trade, so people can just trade and make money. In Philippines, 5% trade this thing. Nigeria, 4% they trade this thing. These are the cheapest. That's why they trade them. They can afford these. Australia, same. New Zealand is same. Canada, same. Malaysia, same. Morocco, same. So you can trade this everywhere you are. Everywhere you are. So everyone should own some of these, some coins. Like Michael Saylor saying, everyone should own some coin because this is going to be big soon. It's going to be big soon. You don't have to own a lot to be a millionaire. You don't have to own a whole Bitcoin. You can own one Ethereum. You can own couple Solana. You can own couple BNB. You can own a couple just to learn how it works. That's how we do. I'm not trading these things. I just buy a little bit just to learn how it works. Maybe in the future I'll be able to trade it, make a lot of money like everybody does. But I'm telling you, young people under 40 years old, they traded this thing and they make a lot of money. From 2016 up to now, they make a lot of money because that's where these things started to go out. Everybody started to get in touch with this. That's how this information started to get out. I had somebody to tell me about this thing like 2016, I think. That's how I started to hear about this thing. But I'm telling you, I wasn't really paying attention on this because uh, because I was just don't know. I didn't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really ready to trade or do anything. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, if I knew, I won't be here today. I'm telling you, this Bitcoin right here that's trading at 42,000 right now, it was trading at 2,000. 2,000. This Ethereum that is trading right now at 2,200, it was trading at almost 400. That's how I knew this thing. So, yeah, take a look. Take a look on this thing. Take a look on this thing because you never know. You never know. You may like it. You may like it. Take a look on this thing. You may like it. You never know. This thing goes up and down. Of course, nobody's gonna tell you that you will make a lot of money from this thing, but it's in your interest to just take a look at how this thing works. Maybe in the future we're able to buy some and make some money. If you don't know how to read this chart, it's not a big deal. I used to just don't want to buy anything because I wasn't sure if I would know how to read this chart. But you don't need to know how to read this chart. Okay, just buy it and keep it. Buy it and save it. Count to 1 year, 2 years. You know, you don't have to know how to trade all this thing. All you need to know is you need to have a little bit of it. That's it. That's it. If you want to know, that's how it goes up. The red, that was the red candle. That's the downside. The green candle, that's the upside. See, that's how it goes up. Now it's kind of trending down, but it's not really going down. This thing is going to go to over 100,000 some in a few days or in a few months. So I'm not going to really say a lot about this, but as a friend or as anybody who you care for, tell him to own some of these things. Wherever you are, I don't care if you are in Africa, I don't care if you are in Asia, I don't care if you are in Europe. You can have access on this somehow, somehow, somehow. So, okay, I think uh, I think let me show you some. Let me show you some. Okay, I'm going to show you how many crypto banks does support crypto. Some of my friends on Africa continent asking me how they can trade these assets, but it's hard to know because those banks are not on this list. But you can see out from here. Some people say no, that's not cool. That's for mafia. That's for terrorists. That's for people. That's for bad guys. But that's not 2023. You know what I'm saying? Look at here. The yellow is not crypto friendly. This it's crypto friendly. See right here. This first four banks they are not crypto friendly. That means they not allow their system or their client to trade crypto on this banking system. But we know that these banks, these same banks that's so-called not friendly, they are buying these assets behind doors. So if you go to US, like JP Morgan Chase, this is a very big bank. Bank of America, these are the friendly. These banks support crypto. If you go to this Mitsubishi or whatever, that might be from Japan. This Credit Agricole, Citigroup is is American. All these are the very big uh, banks that support crypto. If you go to China, China still doesn't trade openly, but they buy this thing behind doors. If you go over here, West Fargo, this is a very big bank in the US. So Japan, these are very big banks. Societe Generale, these are maybe in Europe. Royal Bank of Canada, Toronto Dominion Bank, China Merchant Bank. China still doesn't want to allow the people to trade this thing, but they really trade. They trade very much. They know how to trade. You know, Goldman Sachs Group. This is a very big one. Deutsche Bank, Industrial Bank, China City Bank, Industrial Bank, China City Bank, Shanghai Development Bank. They not allow to trade crypto. But if you look at these banks, I don't see. I may not aware of it, but I don't see any African bank over here. But I see Asian banks. I see Latinos Bank, but I don't see African Bank because this is the biggest bank. But if we keep digging deeper, we can find it. We can find it. We can find it. All I know is people will find a way to trade this thing. It doesn't matter if the government we allow people to do that or not. People will find a way to do it, and the government will follow. And after some time, they will join. They will join. They will join because that's what is going on right now. Before this, all these banks, Citibank, Morgan banks, they was not allowing people to trade this thing. Now they started to trade because the government found out they won't be able to stop this thing. So they have to support it. They have to join. So this is what's going on, guys, and I hope I find it whenever I find another one, another version of news when people from the continent can trade this. I will bring to you. Before you leave, please listen to this man, the the billionaire, if not a trillionaire in Bitcoin.
Coin. Bitcoin's about a $500 billion network. How big can it get? Well, 500 trillion, 1,000x bigger in today's dollars.
Renowned American business executive and entrepreneur Michael Saylor believes the eventual explosion in Bitcoin's price will be so exponential that just one Bitcoin will someday be an underlying network, or enough assurance that the leading cryptocurrency will someday become a coin now or even a few years down the line to buying property in New York City 100 years or a few decades ago. Saylor explains that New York was already the greatest city in North America by 1776, more than 100 years after it was founded by Dutch colonists around and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
You know, New York was the greatest city in North America by about 1776, and you would have been late to the party. But the question is, would you buy a city block in New York in 1776? Or if you waited till 1876 and you were really late to the party and New York was the greatest city in North America, was it too late to buy a city block in New York City in 1876? Or how about 1976? If you were 200 years late to New York City, if you look at the property values of New York in 1976, what you'll find is you would be rich if you had actually bought real estate in New York in 1976. So the answer to the issue is in every economic system, every economic empire, there's always one city, one place that one network where people gravitate to. In ancient in the ancient Med, it was Carthage for a while, and then it was Rome, and then it was Venice, and eventually the French Empire terminated in Paris, and the British Empire terminated in London, and then eventually the American economic empire terminated in New York. And there are reasons why. It's just everybody comes together in that place. Even today, New York is still the economic epicenter of the United States. And so Bitcoin represents the economic epicenter of cyberspace. It is the one place where if I want to create a digital application, if I want to move money at the speed of light, and I live in Singapore, I'm using Bitcoin. If I live in Paris, I'm using Bitcoin. If I live in Moscow, I'm using Bitcoin. If I live in China, I'm using Bitcoin. So you see, everybody in the world that actually believes in the idea of a digital asset that wants to build this as a treasury reserve asset, they're going to gravitate toward the most powerful network. Why? Because everybody else is gravitating there. Why do people go to New York? Because the smart money is in New York. I could go to New York 20 years ago. I could take 10 meetings, 100 trillion worth of equity. Half of it is a monetary premium. 11, 12 trillion worth of gold. 80% of it is a monetary premium. So as the world gets smarter, people are going to sell those things because they don't make good money. Gold is awful money, right? It's just awful money. If you store your money in gold, you're losing half of your wealth every 35 years. So why would you do that, right? It's not working. In the last 2.5 years, gold is down 5%, Bitcoin is up 150%. The only people that are buying or holding gold are people that aren't paying attention, right? The smart money is clearly running away from it. And in time, people will dump their gold. And when they dump their gold, Bitcoin will jump by a factor of 10.
During the
I wish everyone can understand what he's saying. You need a little bit of you need. It's not everyone who will understand what he's talking about, but it's really interesting. If you look at the gold, how it went up from 70s to now, and compared to Bitcoin, how it moved up from like 20 years ago up to now, it's not even comparable. And if you look at how the world changed from dollar to bricks, if it will happen, or how the power is shifting from west to maybe north, or from north to south, from east to west, from west to east, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You need to understand that there's gonna be some change in the future. This man is very smart, and he's predicting very, very interesting stuff that most people should know and most people should have access to. I wish most of my friends, most of my people, most of my family have access to what this guy is saying and do something about it. Not just have access to it, but be able to have access to do what he's telling people to do.
Here are more clips from the interview.
The answer to the question of why you should buy a Bitcoin is a Bitcoin represents one block in cyber New York, which has got 21 million blocks for all of eternity. And in the year 2500, people are going to be moving to cyber New York, right? I mean, New York was founded a long time ago, right? The only thing that keeps people from continuing to come into the great city, whether it's the New York or the London or the Paris, is when the economic flows move from the physical domain to the digital domain. As long as you did business in an analog world where you had to like put on a suit and walk into a building and meet with people, then you're going to see London and Paris and Tokyo and Hong Kong be great cities. When the economy moves to the digital realm, and you don't have to put on a suit and walk into a building, and you can have a Zoom meeting of 20 people in 20 places and raise $1 billion in a day, right? Then some of the economic energy drains out of the city networks and it drains into the crypto network. And so buying a Bitcoin.
Let's talk crypto right now.
Listen, he's saying that imagine in these normal words, to make money, you have to put, you have to look good, work in those crazy buildings in New York, meet these big guys, big money. If you're not able to do that, if you are not on, if you didn't go to school, if you're not a business guy, you're not going to be able to get to that point because you are not from that very big family, rich family. So you're not going to be able to make that much money. But imagine if you can just create your account on Coinbase, for example. You have access to this trillion of assets you can buy. You can buy for $1, even less, and keep it if you want, trade it if you want, send it if you want. No one is going to ask you what's going on, what you do with the money, and how you do it. You want to move the money from a continent to another continent? You don't need to go to the West Fargo. You don't need to go to the US Bank. You don't need to go to the Citibank. You are in your living room, sleeping on your bed, grab your smartphone, do some clicks, and you moved all the money you want from here to Singapore, to Philippines, to Thailand, to Ivory Coast, to Congo, to Burundi, to Rwanda. Nobody knows, no one asks you. In 5 minutes, the people you send to, they got the money, they cash it out, the money is the bank in 5 minutes. It doesn't matter how much money it is. 100 million, 100 billion, just one click. That's the difference. Now, if I want to send money from here to Burundi, 10,000 and plus, I have to explain what's going on because that's the system. But with crypto system, you don't have to. So that's the difference. That's the difference. Guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.